We're recording this, by the way, on Wednesday, and the event will be Thursday, so we haven't seen the event, but you've seen the press materials and gotten the lowdown on what HTC is going to announce.
Yeah, and this is obviously released Friday, so we wanted to make sure we could talk about it, but we needed a briefing beforehand too. And they were giving briefings out, so I just took one this morning and wrote down a bunch of notes, so I'm kind of explaining this to Marques.
Yeah, you tell me about this.
Yeah, everyone listening may have already seen it. If not, go check it out. So it's called the Vive Flow. And I think the best way to describe this is I'll start with what it looks like, and then Shen over at HTC did a great way of kind of describing where it fits in the lineup that I'll talk about later. And I think that kind of puts where this is very well. So essentially, we all know Vive. Like, we have a Vive Pro at the office. It's
VR
fantastic. VR headset. Generally, when you think about it as connecting to a computer. You have base stations and sensors all around, and you have controllers, and it's like incredible VR experience. I love VR. I still say it is like one of the most futuristic tech things I think like that's really out there, because in the sense of like showing somebody it for the first time, any VR that is, it's like the most magical experience to someone who's never seen it before. I've never seen someone hate it. I've always seen just people like in pure awe when they try it.
As long as they don't get motion sick.
As obviously that would probably not be as magical. But so we have the Vive Pro here. They also created the Vive Focus pretty recently, which is a standalone. And then this is called Vive Flow, which is a much more portable version of it. So I want to say imagine glasses. It's like they're like immersive glasses. Now, not as small as like a typical Ray-Ban. It's got a very like steampunk giant brass circle front to it. It's still a big headset.
Okay.
But it is in relevance to other VR headsets is far, far smaller.
So it's still a VR headset.
Still a VR headset.
But it's much smaller.
Yeah, you're not like looking through it. You're still fully immersed into a pair of into virtual reality, right? But rather than having this big heavy headset that comes like a few inches off of, like 6 inches off of your face, it's much more compact. It's held on with just side rails, like a regular pair of glasses. You don't have a full blown strap that goes over your head.
Okay.
You know how like a lot of Vives also almost have like weight in the back, so it kind of counterbalances. This is 189 grams. They found that most of the phones that were running it were usually heavier than the headset.
Yeah, I was going to say the iPhone's like 220 grams.
Yeah. Okay. So super light, very compact. The lens, what do you call the sides of glasses? Why am I blanking on this? I'm calling them rails.
That's a great question.
I'm just going to call them rails, and
what
you guys can
sides
just rip into me.
Glasses called legs or arms. Some call them legs, others call them arms.
I'd rather call them arms.
Let's call them arms.
Okay, arms. Yeah. So glasses, arms, they fold up like a pair of glasses. They compact very small. Okay. So to kind of go with this, the way Shen described it is like, if you were to look at Vive's lineup, kind of like the way we look at computers, if you look at a desktop in a lineup of computers, it's like it will always have its place as top of the line, most powerful. When you really want to get something done similar to us, like you edit and you render on your desktop, because it just gives you the most power no matter what. That's kind of like the Vive Pro. Like the Vive Pro, it has to be hooked up to a computer. It has base stations, but you're getting the craziest experience possible, like the top of the line, everything.
Sure.
If you look at a laptop now, it's still like extremely powerful, can do a lot of things that a desktop can do, but will never quite hit that range. But you're gaining some portability out of it. So that's kind of like the Vive Focus. You now have a standalone headset, still has controllers, still is a bulky headset, but don't have to connect to a computer, can bring it some more places. Then you have something like a tablet, which is like, you're not expecting to get the most insane performance out of it, but some general entertainment, and the portability of it is way easier than a laptop, way easier than a desktop, obviously, which is not portable at all. And that's where you get the Vive Flow. You now have this like very portable, a little less capable, but you're sacrificing that for the pure portability of it.
I love that analogy, and I'd love to stay on it. So I have both a laptop and a tablet, and I often find I only really need one of them, because it's kind of binary whether something's portable or not. Like my desktop is not portable, and my laptop and my tablet both are portable, but I usually pick one or the other, and I end up usually bringing my laptop. you've seen the design. Do you feel like there's a big enough difference between Vive Flow being super small and lightweight that you'd substantially differentiate it versus the larger one?
Yes, because the main thing is how it can fold up and be compact and the weight of it. So rather than similar to, I mean, like the Vive Focus, which is the standalone one that I compared to a laptop, it still has controllers and it's still about the same size as like our Vive Pro.
Is it like an Oculus Quest type size?
Yeah, pretty similar. Okay. Like, and you can still imagine that like it's still taking up quite a bit of room in your backpack.
Yeah.
The Vive Flow now, when it folds up, it fits into this. There's a carrying case for it that almost looks like a thermos. I'm saying like, what's the best way? Like a maybe a case? Taller, a bit bigger than like a tall boy soda or beer. Mm-hmm. You know, like easily is fitting in there, not taking up that much room.
Right.
Where like a tablet's sort of similar to that. I mean, a tablet and a laptop portability is pretty close, but like laptop charger, if you have a mouse for it, it's like obviously quite a bit bigger.
Right.
So what this is, the main thing it seems like they're really focused on this is kind of two things. Travel portability. So like when you look at this, you're not getting quite the gaming, there's still games, but not the gaming experience of like a Vive Pro. But you're getting this giant immersive screen no matter where you are. And all of this is powered by your phone, which is also really, you're not bringing controllers with you.
Oh, so, I didn't know that. Okay.
Sorry, maybe I didn't explain it.
So this is a screen that is wirelessly connecting to your phone to power a VR experience in this headset. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think you got that right. Yeah, it's a VR headset that is wirelessly connected to your phone, and your phone is basically mirror casting this into there and creating a VR experience from it.
Got it.
So up against your glasses, you have a cinema level screen that you can watch movies on. You can do relaxation stuff. That's another thing they talked about a lot. So like if you're riding on a plane and you want to watch a movie, rather than use the small TV on the front headrest of the person in front of you, you now have this like giant screen that you can watch on.
That's a really good example, actually.
Yeah, and what's cool about it, because it's just mirroring your phone, rather than having to use a bunch of like proprietary software or go through, like we just saw the Oculus Quest the other day go down because you couldn't log in with Facebook. You're just mirror casting here. You can use your Netflix, you can use your Disney Plus, you can use whatever streaming software you have on your phone, and now you're just watching it. YouTube. Now you're watching it personally to you. I mean, the first thing I thought of was the one time on a plane we were traveling and I tried to watch Wolf of Wall Street, which has some pretty lewd scenes in it pretty early on.
You don't want anybody looking over his shoulder.
And seeing some like weird stuff. I mean, and then like these are totally normal movies. So, but like sometimes you just don't want people to see you watching that. So like you have this opportunity now to see something like that. And also it's just way more like beneficial and ergonomic to be watching something that's right up on your face and looks huge than this like small TV screen.
Yeah, I was gonna say the ergonomics. I mean, a lot of times, the plane doesn't even have a screen on it, but like you can put what will probably look like a much bigger, higher quality screen, and with headphones, you're in a theater, kind of.
Yeah,
which is way better than airplane.
It does have speakers on the arms, but it also can connect via Bluetooth and use like noise canceling headphones. They use that as an example on a plane. I mean, even think about it. If the plane doesn't have a screen, how many times have you like propped up your phone on like the tray table with your hoodie or something like that, and you're watching on this like little tiny phone, and now you're just casting it onto there. What I also thought was really interesting, since they don't have controllers, is rather than using your phone, like when you think about using your phone as the controller for this, how would you imagine using it?
Interesting. I kind of imagined it would be in my pocket and I'd be controlling with something separate. But if the phone's a controller, I guess I got to hold it in one hand, and hopefully the accelerometer plus me using it like a remote control works.
So it uses, since your phone has like an accelerometer and a compass and everything, like it uses it as a pointer, and essentially it creates these larger buttons on the phone that now you can just point to the menu selector, play, pause, or whatever you need to do in there without having to take the headset off and look on your screen and like click on stuff like that, because obviously your eyes are covered with a pretty large set of glasses. So I thought that was really cool. And if you want to play games or something like that, you can connect a controller to your phone like you would with Stadia or Xbox Remote but now you're playing it on the screen in the Vive Flow instead.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. To me, it's like, wow, HTC is clearly really crushing the hardware side of VR. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they've made this thing that, you know, assuming we get it here and it like satisfies everything we're talking about, it's like it really would encourage you to bring a VR headset on the go. But why would I bring a VR headset on the go is the other half of that question. Like, is there some, obviously media is one part of it, but is there some couple of games? Is there a killer app? Is there some reason why I just got to have VR more often? And HTC, I'm sure, will help find some of those use cases. Yeah. Honestly, sitting on a plane and watching a movie in the headset sounds like the best version of this
media
headset.
Consumption sounds awesome.
Yeah.
To me, like the number one thing would be media consumption through traveling like that, where I can just completely clonk out and I kind of
backseat of a car on a road trip, watching a movie on the screen with headphones.
And especially on a plane, like I don't need to always feel like I'm in a plane crammed with a bunch of people inside there for 6 hours going cross country. Like
you're gonna miss your food though. The food cart's gonna go by. You won't have any.
They did actually specifically say one benefit of it being very light and not a full strap is like at any time you can just lift it up.
Yeah, but you gotta know. You gotta know you should lift it up. You gotta smell the peanuts or something.
Same thing with headphones too, though. There's always that part where I have my like Boses on while we're traveling, and I always like I see them, the stewardess or steward start to move, and I like move it back to just make sure I don't miss them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all of that with the capability of now still some games and stuff like that. If you do want to play, you know, maybe you want to. I don't know if it has Beat Saber. I hope somehow it has Beat Saber on it, but I have not confirmed that.
I would love to play Beat Saber sitting in an airplane, like in the middle seat, just like hopefully not elbowing people around me. No, that sounds really interesting. Do we have a price? I'm sure this is like the last second stuff that'll get announced.
$499.
$499. So that's right a little bit over the top of Oculus Quest, but you're paying for the convenience of traveling more.
Yeah, and you're paying with the it's like the convenience of it is also how it's so much of it is controlled by your phone and just like a small battery bank. They said pretty much any battery bank can control it or can power it.
I guess that was going to be my other question. You make something so small and so light, it must not have a very big battery. You're saying it has no battery.
It has enough battery to where if something came unplugged, it'll shut down properly and let you fix stuff, but it can be run with either a battery bank. They say 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank will last you 5 hours. And they very specifically told me 5 real hours, not this like garbage laptop battery 5 hours. And that it's not recommended if you are someone who uses your phone a lot, but if you plug it straight into your phone will also power it.
True. Yeah,
so like you can just use your phone to power it.
Right.
They also have a pretty cool little adapter that they're having that is a single USB-C cord that then splits so you can plug into the Vive and also plug into a battery bank so it'll just power everything pretty much.
Got it.
So if you want to charge both things at the same time. Thanks for watching that clip. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, I guess you just don't care about the massive tech information that is just going to blow into your sub box next week.
We're going to blow the doors off your sub box.
Yeah.
It's in a good way.
YouTube's going to go down with all the content we're releasing.
Whoa. We don't want it to go down.
Oh.
But we want it to be right at the verge of going down because of how much traffic there is.
But if they don't hit subscribe, it will go down.
Yes.
So hit subscribe.
In order to save YouTube.
Save us, please.
It's just one red button. It's easy.
Thanks. And the thumbs up one too. And a comment.